own the science, and we think that the world, should know it, and the platforms themselves also do.
TikTok. Girl on Instagram. Hi. She doesn't reply because he's a loser.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have an exciting video for you because we'll be reviewing videos that you sent me. Now, I haven't seen any of these videos yet, so this is going to be my real, raw, authentic reaction to all of this stuff. But before we go on, please smash that subscribe button. Give me a big old thumbs up. If you like this energy, you like the content that I produce, share this with your friends because this is the only way to go around big tech censorship. So nonetheless, let's get into our first video.
I can't remember the numbers exactly, but South Korea, you'll know, has the lowest fertility rate in the world.
For every 100 South Koreans, there will be 4 great-grandchildren.
Right. Like, there's never been a plague that has knocked out that many people.
The 96% extinction rate over the next 100 years.
It's incredible.
Of Koreans. Remembering that we shut down the entire world for something that kills 1 to 2% of people.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the most incredible evolutionary bottleneck that we're going through.
Let that number sink in. 96% extinction rate over the next 100 years. And I think what is more crazy than that is the notion that we've all been led to believe. It's this idea that Earth is overpopulated, so we somehow need to decline the growth rate right now. This is just crazy. I mean, think about this. Why are they actually doing this?
We partnered with Google, for example. If you Google climate change, you will, at the top of your search, you will get all kinds of UN resources. We started this partnership when we were shocked to see that when we Googled climate change, we were getting incredibly distorted information right at the top. So we're becoming much more proactive. We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it, and the platforms themselves also do. But again, it's a huge challenge that I think all sectors of society need to be very active in.
1984 much? What is this, the Ministry of Truth? Did she just say that we own the science and everybody needs to know that? I mean, look, we know that because you guys manipulate data nonstop to better suit your narratives, your propaganda. I mean, this lady is just crazy at this point. I always see her talking about how they own things and how power hungry they are. All right, next clip.
Look how many single mothers we have having kids today. In 1940, it was 4%. In 1940, 96% of kids that were born, they had a mom and a dad married. Think about that stat. In 1940, 96% of any kid that was born to a mom and a dad married.
Wow, that's
96.
96%.
I don't even want to know what is it now.
Only 4% in 1940.
You know what it is now, right?
40%
Holy
are born to a single mom today. 40%. It went from 4 to 40%. This is a stat from the government. I'm not giving you anything that's
That can't be factual.
actually verified right now. I'm going to text it to you right now, okay?
Crazy.
When you see this 4% to 40%, once I show it to you and you see the numbers are right from the government, here's the question. What's the next question you and I want to ask when you hear a number like that?
Why?
Why? Okay? So what caused it? Okay.
All right, before we get into the why, here's another statistic. Why? Because in the 60s, LBJ with the Democrats came and married women to the government. They literally incentivized women to be single moms. How did they do this? They dangled a bunch of different programs, especially with money in them, over the people's heads, right? So what did women do? Women said, oh, we don't need to depend on males anymore. We don't need to depend on the father of my child. We can just depend on the government. And this has been going on since the 60s. So another question that you would want to think of is, why did the government want to break down the nuclear family? I'll let you answer that.
Governor DeSantis is hitting you for claiming the retirement age is, quote, way too low.
I have never once said that. But what we do know is 65 is way too low, and we need to increase that. We need to do it according to life expectancy.
I never once said Hillary Clinton was an inspiration.
I often say that the reason I got into politics was because of Hillary Clinton.
I never said government should go and require anyone's name.
A huge issue that I'll deal with as soon as I get there is social media. They need to verify every single person on their outlet, and I want it by name.
What I have always said is boys go into a boys' bathroom, girls go into a girls' bathroom. But hold on one second.
When I was governor, they wanted to bring in a
bathroom bill, a transgender bathroom bill, and I strong-armed and said, we are not going to have that in South Carolina.
She said the law shouldn't get involved in that. And I just ask you, if you're somebody that's going to be the president of the United States and you can't stand up against child abuse, how are you going to be able to stand up for anything? That is the truth. We have it on video.
When a 12-year-old child in this country assigned female at birth says, actually, I feel more comfortable living as a boy, what should the law allow the response to be?
I think the law should stay out of it, and I think parents should handle it.
Oh, Nikki, can't you see? Every time you speak, it's bullshit to me. Seriously, Nikki, here's a friendly advice besides, dropping out the race. How about you stop saying, I never fill in the blank? Because every time you say that, you literally just said whatever you said that you're not saying 2 minutes ago. So let's drop that stuff and maybe drop out the race.
This is the average person's life. He sits there. He gets his phone. TikTok. Girl on Instagram. Hi. She doesn't reply because he's a loser. Another girl. Hey. Doesn't reply because he's a loser. TikTok. Pornhub. Twitter. Andrew's a human trafficker. Twitter. I'm motivated. I want to be better. Okay, you have to do this. It's really hard. Oh, no. TikTok. You have TikTok mind. Your mind fucking attacked. It's been fried like a fried egg. And that's why you can't dedicate yourself to anything.
All right, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Andrew Tate. There are things that I agree with him on. There's a lot of things that I disagree with him on, but he's 100% correct here. This is the average person right now, is that they're constantly on TikTok or one of these social medias. They're motivated to do something for about 5-10 minutes. They're told what to do, or they find what needs to be done. But because they're so demoralized, because they live in this virtual reality, they can't do anything in this actual reality. For example, dudes who are single and want a chick, every time that there's an opportunity to get one, they freeze. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. They, like he said, they reply hi and then she doesn't reply or anything like that. Not because they're just losers, but because they have this TikTok brain. They're so demoralized. Imagine society for a second without the social media stuff right now. I feel like that's the only way we can go back to how things were.
99% of trans people, and it says, at the end of the film, there's no long-term studies of transition regret, but from what we do have, like 99% of trans people do not go on to regret their transition, right?
Do you know who that study was done by?
I don't remember. And
his name is Dr. Jack Turbin, and he's actually funded by AbbVie. AbbVie is a pharmaceutical company that gives money or does create cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Jack Turbin is essentially paid by people who benefit from you being on cross-sex hormones. And so he's the one that's put that study out, and he's the one that's given you that statistic. So it's not to say that I'm not negating who you are, or who you believe you are, but that's not a true statistic.
Whoever this chick is, great job. First of all, I didn't know many people know about this. I actually just did a video about this, about the fact that pharmaceutical companies literally are paying for studies that then go and promote their own drugs. So Pfizer, Arbor, they all make off-brand puberty blocker drugs. So think about this. These pharmaceutical companies are giving grants, which is essentially money, to companies to produce studies that then go and promote their own drugs. Guys, this is literally crazy. And the reason why we're one of the only countries that allows big pharma to advertise on TV is because we're fully bought out from every way possible by big pharma. And here's the main thing. She just said that, or this person just said that, there is no long-term studies. Yet these activist professors are telling you that there is. Why? Because they're also bought out by big pharma. I mean, it's literally right in your face. And the fact that we're not doing anything about this kind of makes sense because, again, the congressmen and congresswomen are also bought out by big pharma. It's crazy, guys. Let's go to the next clip.
The movement of feminism is the ultimate example of not choosing your enemies wisely. You chose men as being the enemy. 40 years later, 50 years later, you're 65 years old, single, not married, no kids. You're living in an apartment or a condo with a dog or a cat. That's all you ever talk about. And you're lonely and you're sitting there saying, I was wrong. Men are not the enemy. But guess what? That movement stole 50 years of your life. You know how painful that is?
And that does it for today's reactionary video. Again, guys, if you like this type of content, smash that subscribe button, give me a big old thumbs up, and please share this with as many friends and family as you can, because we're all here together to fight big tech censorship. David K is out.